Welcome back everyone, it's Gaz here. I think each and every one of us will agree with me when I say that 2021 is a crazy year. Last year was something else, but 2021 is just 5 months in and we still have so many things going on in our life. Some of us are trying to find a new job, some of us are trying to invest in a digital currency expecting to become financial free and quit the job you always hated. Or you are trying new things, maybe even starting a business of your own, or even trying to change the world. Either way, you are probably doing something to pass the time through this long pandemic that we never thought would last this long. But you and I are not the only ones that had a crazy year, and I am talking about the one guy specifically. He had an amazing year considering how it went for most of us. I am talking about the guy that can single-handedly, with a tweet of a few words, shift stock prices in a way that no single person can. This guy keeps on achieving new things and taking us to explore new planets while trying to save the one that we are constantly trying to destroy. This guy is the one and only Elon Musk. I bet you heard of his name before, and if you haven't, you must be living under a rock. Like literally, this guy is a real-life Iron Man. He's just unstoppable when it comes to reaching the vision of the world that he has pictured for himself. And now we are slowly witnessing this guy just achieving one thing after the other. Back in 2020, the one and only Elon Musk was only barely in the world's top 50 richest list. His net worth at that time was just $25 billion. But now, in the next 9 short months, he gained $160 billion to his name and pushed his net worth to $190 billion at the start of the year. Though he pushed Amazon founder Jeff Bezos off the top spot, crowning Elon the richest man in the world, his victory didn't last long, and at the moment he is third on the list, being overtaken by Jeff Bezos and Bernard Arnault, that has acquired an empire of 70 brands including Louis Vuitton and Sephora. Not only for a short period of time, Elon did the unthinkable and took the crown of Bezos as the richest man alive, but he also holds the title for being the fastest man to grow so much wealth in such a short time frame. Although all of this sounds amazing, one thing is for sure, that our real-life Iron Man didn't get to the top by inheriting his parents' wealth or everything being just given to him. He did it by working long hours and loving every single minute of it. So let's take a look at his road to success. Elon Ray Musk was born in June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, but he also has Canadian and US citizenship. Although his family was far from poor, his success began when he fell in love with coding. This new passion that he got led him to building his first computer game called Blaster, which he later sold for $500. Although this was nothing compared to the money he has now, I would say in a way he already started his entrepreneurial career back then. When he was 20 years old, Musk obtained 2 bachelor degrees in economics and physics. Shortly after that, Elon and his brother started a company called Zip2, which they later sold for over $300 million. Now, when in possession of $300 million, some of us would just sit around and probably splurge on ourselves and loved ones until we have no more money, or keep a bigger portion of it in the S&P 500 or something like that, while splurging the rest of the money. But I think you already know Elon's choice was different. This large amount of money helped him to start yet another business. PayPal was one thing that helped him finally reach his first, and as we all know, not the last billion, as he sold PayPal for $1.5 billion and became billionaire by the age of 30 years old. But you would think that when a person reaches $1 billion, he would stop. But Elon has something bigger on his mind. Let's think now. Back in 2002, something crazy big or something cool that a billionaire could do was maybe buy a sports club or do something like that. But no, Elon decided that he will use his wealth to save humanity by colonizing the red dot that we see in the sky, that is called Mars. Yes, you heard it. In 2002, Elon decided that he will colonize Mars and make space travel available to everyone. I think even back then the idea was a little too extreme to think about, but Elon was not fazed by it, and this helped to create SpaceX. Although SpaceX had a few failed attempts to launch their rocket into space, they did it eventually. Most likely you heard of his company just a few years ago, but SpaceX struggled at first since no one would join the company. That being the reason Elon had to become the chief engineer and chief designer for the company. And it wasn't because he wanted to, but just because he couldn't find anyone good to work for him. But this issue did not make him drop his hands down and quit on his dreams and failed attempts. Their Falcon 9 rocket didn't work 3 times in a row, and they had just one last try before going bankrupt. But imagine that you have enough money to do whatever you want, and you are still putting it all on the line to pursue a dream of commercial space travel. I think you really need to have a lot of trust in what you do and nerves of steel to go for it. But that is one of the reasons why he is where he is now. His space travel dream was not his final business venture that his magical hands got a chance to work on. In 2008, he overtook the company that he is most known for and that brought most of his wealth: Tesla. Even though starting an affordable mass-produced electric car company looked ludicrous back then, we all agreed that space travel was even more crazy for an idea than this. Back in 2017, Tesla managed to overtake General Motors and became the most valuable car maker in the US. Though you might think that these are the only businesses that Elon owns, I can assure you that it's not. In 2016, Elon founded the Boring Company. The name itself doesn't say much of what the company does, but one thing is for sure, that it's just as crazy as his other ideas. Elon decided to build tunnels underground for cars to commute from one part of the city to the other without any traffic. Basically, you get into a car, get in the tunnel, and it will take you to a different part of the city in the matter of minutes. Now, don't you think Elon is done with traveling in tunnels? His other company is Hyperloop. This type of travel will also revolutionize train travel, since the vehicle is using magnetic pods on a Hyperloop that will reach over 700 miles an hour. That is faster than a plane. Just saying. This project will also make travel quicker and is expected to reduce travel jams in the large cities. As you can see, Elon is full of interesting ideas, but his wealth came not because he started a business or that he is smart. He is what he is because of all of those things and more. Not only he is smart, eager to learn, and is always very open-minded and hardworking, it has been said that he has been seen sleeping in his office for days just because he was working so much. He said he is working 120 hours a week and he barely had any days off since he became part of Tesla. He said he had 2 weeks off since then, and let's take his word for it. The most important thing is that he is always excited about what he does, and I think that is because he is constantly trying to solve a problem. Cars are polluting the environment? Sure, we will make the affordable good electric cars. Space travel is too expensive and we might destroy our planet? Well, let's make it cheaper and colonize Mars. Travel takes too long? Let's make underground tunnels which save high-speed traveling. Don't forget, he is also making Neuralink, which will also solve important brain and spine problems with a seamlessly implanted device. We are all getting paid for the problems that we are managing to solve. If you are not solving anything, most likely you will never have Elon Musk's money. Though I encourage everyone to try and solve even a simple problem, and eventually that might make you a fortune. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which of Elon's businesses are you most excited for in the comments below. Please like the channel if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.